Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And in today's video, we are going to be using the new neon in Arena. Now, obviously, the new neon isn't great, right? New neon isn't great, but doesn't hurt to still try her out in Arena. I haven't actually used her here that much, so we could test and see now with me actually paying attention. But before we get into all that, make sure you guys subscribe. We are, maybe we could, right? We could try to push for 4K, but we would need like less than 300 subs. So if you guys are new and watching and you want to help your boy get to 4,000 by the end of the month, by all means sub, and make sure, let's try to get 30 likes for this video, right? Right, but yeah, so we're gonna use her in Arena. The team I'm using now, the thing about this character is I don't even know she's gonna be good in Arena, right? Because if she loses damage when she goes into a burst skill, because of how her kit works, it's just like I can't control how she works in Arena, right? I would have to purposely put 3 or 2 other burst 3s in front of her. But the problem is, even if I was to do that, it would hurt my team, because when it comes to positioning characters in Arena, it's completely different than positioning characters in like regular progression, right? Basically in regular progression, the order my team is the order it's going to go for burst skill rotation. And it's the same thing for PvE here, actually. It's actually the exact same thing for PvE here. It's the exact same, but the problem is that what's it called? Let me do it like this, actually, and then we could do this. Yeah, the problem is in PvP you have to have like the characters at the very end are going to get targeted first, so having them be the defender with the biscuit comp, it kind of works out. But we're gonna try it. Obviously, again, her kit won't work here. If I'm not using her burst skill, the only thing that's going off is her normal attack, and it's still not great enough, right? I'm sorry, bro. There's just nothing you could do for this character. I mean, you could give her like heavy investment for her to do real damage, but it's like I'm not gonna say she's a top tier character because of that. At this point, like, no matter how you look at this character, she's a bad character, right? Because their first skill already doesn't work unless you use her burst skill, and even if you do, it only affects his part damage, right? So that's bosses, right? The second skill is only going to work when you're fighting fire codes, and in this situation I'm not, so she doesn't have a second skill that works, right? And then her burst skill is just bad in general, and I lose damage from. So like when you look at this character, no matter how much investment you want to give her, it's just not gonna work out in the end, right? Honestly. Yeah, but this might be useful, obviously, because the generation spread. But again, the damage is so mediocre here that the generation spread is just not even gonna like compete. It's not good enough, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we lost here, right? Genuinely, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost here. It looks like it's going like. Honestly, it looks like it's okay. Now we okay. We just got smoked. We just got wiped. Let me see the. And of course, she still did the least amount of damage, right? Even with just her normal attacks. I mean, she went into her burst skill, right? But it's just embarrassing, right? This character is just a joke. The fact that I have to, all these requirements for this character to start working. It's not even like, oh, she just has to have all these requirements to make her good, right? It's so that she could start working and doing the job she's supposed to be doing from the beginning, right? It's just, it's quite annoying, because when you read her kit, chat, her kit seems quite nasty, especially at level 10. I think this is all 12% at level 10, and it stacks every time. So it'd be 12%, 24%, 36. And then here would be at 20%, so it'd be like 20, 40, 60. It stacks, right? It doesn't add, so it wouldn't go like from 20.4 to like 22 point whatever. It doesn't even go like that. It actually just stacks like 20, 40, 60. And you would think it would do a lot of damage, but it doesn't. That's why so many people are truly convinced that the character is bugged. I mean, honestly, we don't need to use Noir here. I'm just gonna use Modernia so I can at least get a win, right? Right? I mean, we don't even have to use her burst skill. We'll do it like this, bro. I don't know. I just think it's silly, bro. I just think it's so silly that a character like this is honestly like, I don't know, bro. I just think it's so like she's a bad character. I'm gonna have her tier list out. I'm not even gonna wait for Union Raid, honestly. Because again, it doesn't change anything. At least, I mean, if the Union Raid boss is in fire, it doesn't change anything. I don't have to wait for Union Raid to see how well she's gonna do if there's no fire bosses, right? Because that's all, like, me personally, that's all I care about, right? I want to use her full kit. But even if it comes to Union Raid, right? It makes no sense to say we're gonna test her out in Union Raid, and then it's like, if we're not even going to use her burst skill and there's no fire bosses, that means we're only going to test her raw damage being buffed by everybody else on the team and thing, right? So even if we did the same thing, in theory, if we did the same thing for Arya, who I believe only has a 0.10%, like less normal attack damage, so hers is 5.57, Arya's is 5.47. It wouldn't be that big of a difference if everything we're planning on doing for this one character, because her kit doesn't work, happened to Arya. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, bro. I think the character is I don't know, bro. Like let's see. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. Am I losing my records with this character on my team, bro? It's like, she's not gonna be that good in PvP. So in general, right there, that takes away from her. In progression, if she's not fighting, like, again, the only thing of hers that is going to be efficient, no matter if you invest into her or not, is going to be her normal attack. But if I say she's good because of her damage of her normal attack, with all the buffs that she's getting from literally everybody else, if she wasn't to have her like skill 1, 2, and 3, of course, because obviously she could hit 10 times harder if she had her, not 10 times, but she can hit much harder if she had her skill 2. Wow, we're losing even with her on the team, right? Because she just doesn't do damage whatsoever, right? Neon less than 900k. Jacko did more. Blanc did the least because Blanc is tanking and healing. Biscuit did more. Jacko did more. Neon did the least. It's pathetic, man. Oh my, I've seen enough, bro. You know, I'm curious, bro. I know what I'm gonna do. Does Neon win this 1v5? There's fire characters there, but it doesn't even matter, right? Because again, her thing requires full burst. So in a 1v5, which is obviously, I'm not gonna like say, oh, she's bad because she's not winning a 1v5. Like, no, it's just a meme batch right here at this point. I just want to see if she'll win here. I think she should, right? She's taking no damage, which is good, right? So, hey, she's doing something right at least. She's doing something right at least. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think you can make it. I'm like, I could really sit and cope about the what about the 50k? Is there a 50k player here? More challenging. I think I could cope and say to wait for Union Raid. Like, we could generally wait for Union Raid, right? If that's really what we have to do. But it's like, for me, it doesn't change much if her kit, if she's not fighting a fire character, and obviously we're not supposed to use her burst skill, what she's doing, what people are planning to test out with her, is what basically would be happening with Arya if it was just going off of normal attacks and then buffs from other characters to make her actually start doing damage, right? Wouldn't it? Because Arya is, again, 0.10% under her for normal attack damage. If she's not getting a buff from her first skill, her second skill, and she's not using her burst skill, that means the only thing activated is normal attack. And if she's doing, let's say, 30 million with her normal attack only, then I'm sure somebody like Arya would do, who's buffing herself actually. I mean, Arya would actually buff up herself and the entire team because of the crit rate and the crit rate. But I don't know, bro. I don't think this Neon's a good character at all. Clearly, she's not going to be all that great in PvP, obviously, because what are you doing with her in PvP? Right, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that one for the Arya. Like, I don't know, not even the Arya. Just like Neon is such a joke. I just need her banner to go away. And her banner lasts for 3 weeks. Like, talk about a banner you don't want to last for 3 weeks. I mean, I do. I need a save, right? I need a save. So it's whatever, but a bit iffy character. I can't lie to you. Yeah, Neon, bet ass. I ain't gonna lie. Your boy Zxous, I'm out. Peace.